Shane Beamer made it very clear after the spring game. Hey, Luke Doty's our starting quarterback. He's QB1. I thought it was a genius move how he sort of removed that as a storyline, throughout the summer, because of course, people like me and others within media and just on social media, if he did not do that, everybody's going to try to, formulate this quarterback battle and, who's going to be the starter, who's QB1 and this back and forth. And you kind of let, social media control the narrative of the ball. He eliminates that, though. And I said in fall camp, I said, man, it feels so great to have our quarterback position settled. We're not having to talk about it. And then, of course, the quarterback battle that none of us asked for going into week one when Luke Doty gets the injury. But overall, the overall outlook, and I think we all expect he's going to be back by week 2. I think even if he had to go, Shane Beamer said in his call-in show last week, if he had to go, guys like he, Cam Smith, Kevin Harris, if they had to play, they could. I don't think you'll see them out there, though, most likely. But overall, this Gamecocks offense in 2021, Alex, when you look at it, I think we all expect you're going to lean on the running game with Marshawn Lloyd, Kevin Harris, Aquandre White, Juju McDowell is a guy who's been sending out, Rashad Amos. The wide receivers are the question mark, and then 4 or 5 starters returning on the offensive line. And Luke Doty, certainly he is QB1. He has that athleticism. And again, we talked about it last year, and we saw it. What are you expecting specifically from the Gamecocks offense this year? Game also mentioned the tight ends. They've got weapons there as well. I mean, I've said before, I think it's going to be 70-30 run to pass, and people scoff at that. Like, oh, you got to have more balance. You got to have more balance. And I totally understand that, Alex, but this is a team where you got to lean on what your strength is, and your strength is going to be running the football. What say you, though? What do you expect from Satterfield, Beamer, and this Gamecocks offense in their first year?
I mean, I don't know that it'll be 70-30, but I think you're probably going to see something close to 60-40, because I think what you're going to do is run a lot of zone read options, especially if Luke's standing back there out of spread formations. It's going to try to spread that defense out and let our offensive linemen, who have a ton of experience, go to work on the D-line and the backers, and, give Luke an option to get out there and run. Obviously, you've got Marshawn Lloyd, you've got Kevin Harris sitting there in the backfield that you can rotate throughout the game, assuming both of them are healthy. So, I mean, that's a heck of a 1-2 punch from one position, especially if you've got some unknowns at wide receiver. So, maybe that's what we need to be looking for in game one, even though, we were talking off camera, we probably don't need to reveal a ton in the passing game. But given that it is a, pay-to-play opponent we've got coming in here in Eastern Illinois, this is probably a good opportunity to let those wide receivers run around out there and get a little bit of, confidence against somebody that they can go win 50-50 balls against, and let that build for further down the season. So you might see a little bit more passing, especially initially in this first game. And then I think you lean heavily on the run just to kind of get out of there, keep injuries on the low. But, I agree with you. I think it's going to be more of a 60-40 split from the running game to the passing game, just because you've got those unknowns sitting out there at receiver, where you have 2 bona fides at running back.
Now, Alex, on the other side,
and an athletic quarterback.
Yes, a quarterback that runs a 4.4, by the way. So
yeah. So you got 3 guys back there that can do some damage with their legs. So and again, the unknowns, the question marks at receiver.